For the past couple of weeks, I've been working on a code editor, primarily for QC at this point. I have ambitions of it being something more, but right now I'm just focused on QC since it's nice and simple. I started the project in Python, and I got pretty far. Document tree, got the code screen going here. This totally works. Frame bars, somewhat of a terminal here. It's incomplete. It can run files, like if you write like command line to run file or something like that, it'll do that, but it doesn't do much else. I don't know, it's not too bad. I mean, I even got down to the point where I was getting icons on the tabs and stuff like that, really trying to make things look nice. But Python for Windows does not allow me full customization of a window, and this is apparent if you notice that the system Chrome's still the regular Chrome. This menu is still totally white. Its inner menu's white, and then if I right click, I can't get rid of this white border. Those are things you really cannot change. I can change anything else, pretty much, but those three things are unchangeable, and that was kind of a deal breaker for me. Once I got this right click menu, I was like, really? Just no way to fucking change the padding, right? Alright, well then fuck Python. So, it's not really fuck Python though, because I intend to continue this project later on for the Raspberry Pi and I guess Linux operating systems. But for now, it's just dead in the water. I moved on to Flash develop with Flash. I'm not using Hex or anything else like that. This is just Air operating system version Flash. I get a lot more customization with this, but I'm starting to notice some performance problems in certain cases. Like, for instance, if I try and resize, if I try and maximize with 800 lines of code in this box, it's not that great. And watch, when I come back, you'll notice it takes a second for the toolbar to appear. See? I know that's so minimal, and there's probably other code editors that have similar little glitches like that, but that kind of stuff drives me nuts. I don't know that I can fix it, because it's trying to resize this box that has 800 lines of, over 800 lines of text in it. I mean, if I go to the Untitled, if I go to Untitled, it's much faster. It's instant. So you know it's the box. It's this box right here. The one with all the code in it. So there's that issue. And I don't know. I mean, I guess this is about as bad as it could get. Like, I don't, in other words, what I'm saying is I don't expect that this problem would get even worse. Like, Untitled is technically not even on the stage right now. Like, that's why Untitled scales much faster than this does, because as soon as I click this, the text frame that was just Doors QC is completely gone. It's just sitting in memory at the moment. It's not on the stage at all until I do that. Now it was put back and this one was removed. So there's that. Now notice there's no menus. This is because I want to go a different route and have this stuff happening on the right click. This is not where I want the menu to be. Actually, I'm going to change that right now. All I need to do is turn this into vertical and this into a 1 because I want it in the center. And now you see we got that, and that's actually how I want it to be. I made all of these GUI elements. So when you see me just go type vertical and change a 0 to a 1, that's because I spent a lot of time making this stuff very, very, very simple to use. Once you get to the highest level that you can get on that specific element, the interface for it is stupid. There's almost nothing to write. You can create things with one line of code, and like nice things, like this entire menu, for instance. That's besides the point. This video is not about the GUI. It's more about what I'm doing and more like what it's capable of. So as you see, I have full syntax highlighting here. I'm not saying that this is the final theme, but for now this is what it's going to be. And little guy, that little line right there, it knows where you are when you change lines. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to, even though once I started, as soon as I mouse down on this scroll bar, it took the focus from the text field. So now the caret technically isn't in the text field, but it should be to where if I just mouse up, it's going to come back. And there you go, there it is right there. And it really is there, because if we scroll up this way and let go, and now just scroll down, you'll see it's still there. So it wasn't some kind of like little trick because I put it over the mark or something. It was just really, it goes back. I mean, there's so many little connections like that that you would never imagine. Like, oh, here's another one. Why is that's not supposed to be there? That's reporting one too many numbers. Bottom line is there's one line in here, and this is it, that you can't even get to, and it has to be that way. Because if that line was there, then there's certain situations where if you were to format a bunch of text, and like let's say the first thing you wrote was a comment, and that line was not there, that extra buffer line, everything would become the comment format whether I liked it or not, and trying to get out of that is impossible. There's no way to determine how, where, when, what. It's just much easier to just have some line that you can't get to, and that's the line right there. I wonder if it'll go away if I hit enter, or just be the same. Yeah, see, now it doesn't have that line. So somewhere I'm making a mistake. I'm not telling this the right amount of lines or something. Oh, I think I know why. Yeah. Alright, well, I'll fix that later. That's trivial shit. You can't get to this line. I don't care what you do. You can hit delete. You can try and select it. You can arrow keys, right click. There's just no getting to this line. And actually, if you right click, you can end up in the menu. Speaking of the menu, I want it to be where the document tree is over in this left hand side. It'll be very easy to, well, once I make a document tree, that'll be very easy to do. And then this menu would be next to the document tree and would be a little something more like that. And I might notice that was moving really glitchy. It doesn't move glitchy like that whenever I'm not recording at the same time. That's totally a recording problem. It moves perfectly smooth when I'm not using most of my system resources to capture every frame of the video. So yeah, it'll be the document tree off to the left, and then your average menu will be right here. All your menus, you know, this will be like an entire search thing. These boxes are nothing. They're going to go away. They're just there so I can be positive that when I'm clicking these things, something's happening. But they're not necessary even now. I already know something's happening, so I don't have to worry about that part anymore. But I intend there'll be tables of menu items, or in the case of search, you would have your entire search thing, and then like right here probably would be a display where, say you did something like find in all files. Well, that display would be right here, and it would show you all the files. And then of course if you just click the link, then it would automatically pop back to the editor with the appropriate file open and the caret sitting on the line for the search result that you clicked, you know. So just that's it. And if you were to right click, you'd still see that search field there. It's not going to go anywhere when you go away from it or anything. The last thing you did will be the last thing that's there. So you can click through more things, and the same thing would happen. You'd click, bam, and you'd end up with a new file open if it wasn't open already, and you'd be waiting on the line for the result you clicked. I like space. I like having lots and lots and lots of room to write code. And every single solitary text editor there is has ways to hide the bars on the side, and they have the menus at the top, and all the options are inside of drop downs. All that stuff takes up space. I don't care if you're just taking up 1.3 inches of my screen. in a vertical sense, and then the whole screen in a horizontal sense. With that's a lot of space that I could be using. I mean, all this, what the hell do I need all that for? Do you know how often I even use this stuff? Almost never. You know, a lot of that stuff is keyboard shortcuts, handle the job, or some things like you will only visit it once in your entire project, like project properties. I'm not going to that. I don't even need to go to that at all, because in project I just write all my properties in this, so I don't even, there's the project right there. So I don't know, all this menu shit, I hate it. I've always hated it. All these menus on the side and menus on the bottom. Y'all can't see the menu on the side because it's outside of my masked off area here, but you can see this one at the bottom, and that's a really helpful menu, but it's not really helpful that it's just sitting, like I can even see all the words and everything. All this space just taken up. Why are scroll bars like, you know, 1/3 of an inch thick? Why do I don't need 1/3 of an inch thick scroll bars. You know, so I don't know. My ideas behind this is really to just kind of redefine the display for a script editor, to where it's real simple, man. If you're here, there's only one thing you need to do, and that's just write some code. There's no distractions, no bullshit, no screen space being taken up that isn't necessary. And then you just right click for everything else. Everything else is going to be right there. You know, and it'll look different, it'll be nicer and stuff. I mean, this is all still a work in progress, but just that simple. Here's your code, here's everything else. No stupid menus. And that's about it. I mean, I could actually show you a whole lot of stuff when it comes down to syntax highlighting. Yeah, go ahead and do that. So, if you write parentheses, it automatically sticks you in it because you might want to do arguments there, you know, or parameters there, or whatever the case may be, depending on what you're writing parentheses for. But let's say you just hit the enter key, it's going to pull you out. You write some function name. As soon as you hit the equal, it's already going to close the line, because if you write an equal sign outside of a parentheses, you need to close that line. That's just a fact. I cannot come up with one single solitary scenario where you write an equal sign outside of a parentheses, and it doesn't need to be closed, you know. So we close it, you know. I could just hit Control. I had two things I can do here. If I hit just the curly bracket, it's going to put a curly bracket there, skip a line, tab it, skip another line, and close the curly bracket, and then put the caret at the tab. Or if I hit Control Enter, it'll give me this version. Which really, the only difference between those two versions is that. That's really it. Do you want it there or down there? And I forgot, I can't actually you actually can't hit enter in the middle of a line. You do it, it just thinks you want to go to the next line. So there's that. And really, there's no reason why you need to hit enter in the middle of a line. Why would you break a line like that without it being some kind of parenthetical situation where you have curly brackets or possibly square brackets or something like that? So anyway, it understands parentheses, and actually understands them to any depth. So I just opened this if, but let's say I wanted to ask check a couple of conditions. I could do my parentheses here, some condition. I just hit enter, bam. Start another parenthesis, condition 2. Hit enter again, hit enter again, bam. Now I have what I'm calling a loose process. This is where you have a condition that's not going to have any curly brackets because it's only going to sit on one line. If that's the case, at the end of that line you definitely are going to have a semicolon. It's already there for you. Now there's a problem with this that I need to go address, because it's happening anytime you hit enter after parentheses, and there's one other condition where you would hit enter after parentheses where you wouldn't want to make any of those things happen, and that's if you were calling a function. You don't want it to add a new line and a semicolon. So, but if you know, it understands nesting. Whoops, didn't mean to type that one. Because let's say I want an internal if. Now here I'm at this nest level. Now write just whatever, blah blah blah, right? Hit enter, now it's already pulled me into that if level. So, but let's say I write an else instead. It starts off the next line, I write some crap. Now I hit enter, and it brought me back to the nesting for this if. So if within an if, it's automatically going to indent for you. If you hit again, and it will let me keep going else if, whatever. But once you get to an else level, it knows that there is no further you can go. There is absolutely nothing else that you can do at this nesting level right here. So it has no choice but to pull you. Well, I mean, it has plenty of choices, but logically, you would want to end up back here at the very least. So I don't know. I have a lot of little code completion things like that going on. Another code completion is comments get automatically set up like that for you. It understands like plenty of types. So like I don't know, string, my string equals. As soon as I hit quotes, it's ready. There's a quote. And I don't know, vector vec equals. Same thing with single quotes. It's just ready. Oops, didn't mean to do that. So that, whatever, that's my vector. Trust me, if I put it in the middle, it's going to type it out. I mean, it's going to highlight it. As a matter of fact, just putting my caret there will show a green caret, so it'll work. I don't know, float. You know, so plenty of syntax highlighting going on. Constants. Be something like that. Built in, so like center print, it automatically understands. But here's the problem with my if completion from earlier. If I hit enter here, it still thinks it's kind of an if situation. So I just need to go tell it to only find keywords and not built-ins when it comes to the first, when it comes to this right here. Just tell it if this word right here or this word right here is any one of the built-ins, then don't do the enter semicolon thing. So that's not hard to fix, and I already know what to do. Like I said, you can't hit enter in a line. If you do, it just pulls out of the line, and it really has to do with the semicolon. Any line that already has, well, actually no, I think it's literally any line. Yeah, see, you can't do enter in the middle of a line, and why would you need to? You might want a situation where you do something like this. I didn't mean to do that. Might want a situation where you do something like that, and that's what you would need a new line for. I mean, how often do you see that in Quake though? Never. I don't even know if you can add strings like that in Quake. In QC. I'm not sure. Spike's done a lot of things with QC, so who knows what you can do these days, but I don't know if you can concat strings with a plus sign. And other than that, what other reason would you have to hit enter in the middle of a line and actually expect the line to break? So I don't know. I'm back and forth on whether that's too restrictive or not, but really in the long run it doesn't matter, because let's say you didn't like any of those features, you could just come over here, go to settings, and somewhere in here would be some radio buttons that you could click to turn that shit off and on all you want. As a matter of fact, that'll probably be the first menu I make, because I've already set the stage. Look how much code, man. Just code, so much code, and I don't even have all of it open. We got all that and that. I think there's more, yeah, there's more folders down here and plenty more code, but that's not what I want to look at. If we go right here, I've already set the stage for these editor settings. Actually, this object right here, more filled out, could end up being the menu. There's no reason why this needs to be just these vars when it could actually be all of the settings as well. So the stage is set, and it's really set, because I've already even done this, which if we go to this, you see AC curly, AC parens, AC quote, curly parens quote. So it's already even plugged in to turn off these values. I just need to make the graphical interface to toggle them. That's it. and a lot of that can be made very easily. I mean, we go look over here. I have regular buttons, tab buttons, toggle buttons, all kinds of little buttons that could be used to turn things on and off with. Totally have a label to label that. I could easily make more things. These are all just pretty basic elements, honestly. I need to finish this one before I can go anywhere. That's the bottom line right there. Table needs to be completed, so editor settings can have a table to use in order to add these things, so they can be displayed whenever you right click and go to this spot right here. That'll be all your stuff, and it'll all be in a table. But I haven't finished table yet. But I'm going to open it right now, because as soon as I stop this video, I'm going to finish table. So, I don't know, that's it. I'm working on code editor. I have it written in a couple of different languages, but they're not the same thing. And I hope to have some pretty interesting features in the future, but right now I'm really just nailing down all the little stuff. I'm just trying to get everything laid out, and when it came down to all the things that I had going on within the editor itself for typing, that was just because it was fun, you know, just like, what can I make this do? You know, how smart can I make it regarding what you type? And I don't know, still a long way to go, but I got quite a few things done, and those things that are done actually lay the groundwork for all the other things that need to be done, because I'm already pinpointing things and making a lot of decisions. So all I need to do is take those concepts and change some things, so it's pinpointing new things and making new decisions. And that's about it. Y'all have a great day.